Hello? Hello, Aaron?
Oh, I think it
Oh, I
might
can
have
hear you.
actually.
I'm so excited.
Oh, speaker.
Oh, is it going to stay
Too.
connected?
Hang on.
Hmm.
Oh, that's weird. I can hear the mic. It says speaker off. The speaker is off.
I can hear
Wait,
you
what's
now,
wait?
though. I can hear you.
I think
Can you hear me?
ah okay. Now it says speaker on. See, I never use this, so I don't know where anything is. This is really weird.
Well, don't
Okay.
touch anything now because I can hear you. So that's good.
Oh, okay. All right. So how are you doing? How am I coming through? There might be like a 3 to 5 second delay. There usually is. So
No,
be ready for that.
yeah, no, I
Uh,
can hear you. So welcome to the show. Welcome, Erin Leitch, magician extraordinaire, teacher, book writer, much quoted by everyone else.
thank
I can't believe I can hear you. In fact, I can't believe it so much. I'm just waiting for the internet to ruin it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the last time we did this, it was just it was a really bad connection. I'd never seen it before, so I'm really glad we get to take a second shot at it.
Yes, people were upset. They couldn't hear your voice. And yeah, I know it was annoying. I mean, I heard it at the time a lot more than, in the studio. That was really bad. And it didn't come out at all. Yeah, that was bad, wasn't it?
The
So fingers crossed, God
worst
is
place
on our side. Pardon?
connection. I said now I live in a worse place, and I say worst place, I mean like for connectivity. I live in a place with an even worse internet connection, and so we'll give it a second try and see if it holds together.
I know, I know. So, I wanted to talk about seals to start with. I know that you've got a little, you're doing a school right now, aren't you? You're doing lessons on the seals, and they're not actually called seals, are they? They're called planetary. Oh God, I don't even know the name. That's my ignorance on magic.
No, that's fine. You can call them seals, although seals are usually what's on them. They're called pentacles or
That's it.
talismans, and there's about 1,000 other names for them as well. Well, Philters, Kandari. It was like it was almost a seemed to be kind of a pop culture thing back in the medieval and Renaissance eras to come up with a fancy name for them.
Hmm. What actually are them? What actually are they? When did they start? When did they first come into being?
Long way. I mean, go back to the Egyptian tombs and you'll find talismans with images of the god on them and talismans shaped like scarabs and different holy symbols. And of course, the same thing, for Samaria and all across the Crescent and early civilization, early Western civilization. So they go back a very, very long way. And basically, uh, what's on these, what I called earlier, still, that's kind of a complex thing, but really what they're called are sigils. Uh, the little pictogram that you see on the talismans. And a sigil literally means signature. So that's what it is. It's a signature. So if you were to work with a particular god or spirit, it's almost in a legal sense. You have that signature. And if you possess their signature, just like the doctrine of names, if you know their true name, then you have some influence over them. And if you have their signature, then you also have that influence over them. So the signature is placed on an object, and that object happens. So I mean, that's old because we're tribal communism. They have signatures on them. So to what you're asking about with the Solomon and all of the magic and such, the bear the signatures of the planetary peoples. So
Oh,
they'll have
so,
when they
so,
Solomon use eight.
so
Oh no,
that,
go
so,
ahead. What you say?
So they are. We'll take Mercury for instance. If you, because the Mercury pentacles, I know there's one, two, three, four, five. So they're different spirits that they correspond to.
Well, specifically in the Key of Solomon, um, those talismans, generally for each planet, the first talisman is used to control the spirits of that planet. So it's like a badge of authority. You know, if a person is committing a crime, say, and a person walks up in the proper uniform with the right badge on them, that halts,
Hmm.
then you have to halt. They have the authority to arrest you and to have power over you. And it's in you have to wear the right uniform and you have to have the badge of authority. So when you perform these rituals, and that's why the regalia is so elaborate in these books as well. You have to wear the uniform. It's based on the regalia of the high priest in the temple of Israel. And so you have this badge of authority, and you perform the rituals, summon the spirits, you have to show them this talisman. Otherwise, they're not going to really have any reason to you say. Just like again, go back out into the real world with committing a crime on the street. If a person walks up to you that does not have the badge and the uniform says halt in the name of the law, probably just gonna push them over the gun if you were a criminal. And so having the badge is very important, and having the action behind that badge is very important for that kind of magic.
Right, interesting. I didn't know the different planets, like say Venus, Mercury, Jupiter. I didn't. Are they actually made up of spirits, or is it the spirits that live there, or is the planet itself a big spirit?
Well, I mean, a little bit of yeah. There's what we the force of from the god Mercury, but just the force of planetary Mercury, and that god Mercury. There is the god Hermes. There's the archangel Raphael. There's the god Thoth, and these are just various angels and deities throughout history that have represented or spirits that have bonded with the force of Mercury. So we can work with those entities in order to work with that group of Mercury, or what in the Kabbalah they would call the sphere of Hod. And within the sphere of Hod is the planetary force of Mercury and all of its angels and spirits. And that goes for all of the other six planets as well, and the
Mm.
four elements and the 12 signs, and everything in nature.
Oh, I see. Four element. What's the 12 sign? Oh, the 12 zodiac signs.
12 signs of the zodiac, yes. Because the 12 signs of the zodiac are ruled by the seven planets, and they are also made up of the four elements. It's four triplicities. So altogether, the 12 signs, the seven planets, and the four elements make up all of what we call reality, the physical world. And the magical system that we're speaking about here, with the Key of Solomon, also the Heptameron and the Arbatel, and all of those related old grimoire, those are systems. It's a technology of sorts that allows you to communicate, to establish contact with the angels and spirits of these planetary forces, and then to go from there and build relationships with them and perform miracles through them. Basically, is what the old books promise.
Right. And people that are doing that, do they, if they perform miracles, do people immediately ask for wealth and fame and fortune? I suppose they would, wouldn't they? If I was busy having an interaction with one of them, I might start to ask for some money.
I mean, you can, but historically done very well. Um, you'll find in going back to that medieval here, I can refer to Solomon is that you're going to find a lot of those grimoire books on treasure hunting. Their instructions for how to get spirits to lead you to buried treasure, how to overcome spirits that are set there to guard the treasure. And there's even some spirits who take the treasure for you.
Hmm.
So yeah, there were a lot of people that were there that were in that only to get rich. And it often did not got very well for them. Um, there's a very famous example. His name was John Dee,
Hmm. Heard of him,
the
yeah.
court astrologer and advisor. Yeah, most people have heard of him in one way or another. Very famous mathematician, inventor, uh, photographer, invented navigation equipment. I mean, you name it. This guy in Elizabethan England, he had his fingers in it. And he also worked with the grimoires and established contact with angels, and they began to deliver him uh, some very lofty information. They were giving him their language and sacred books and texts and stuff that they said hadn't been seen since the prophet Enoch had seen them. But of course, Dee and his scryer, Edward Kelly, immediately jumped on to trying to get the angels to lead them to a treasure.
Hmm.
They were one of the treasure hunting sites. And the angels said, "Oh, absolutely, we're going to give you a treasure. Come this date, we will reveal it to you, and you will be the richest people in the world." And they led them on for months. This, oh, yes, soon the treasure is coming. We are going to lead you to that treasure. Yes, yes, indeed. And the day came and went, and the treasure was given to them. And finally, an angel came to the scrying stone and was talking about a completely unrelated subject with the men. And just on his own accord, the angel decided to say, "Oh, by the way, you know that treasure you guys wanted? It was never a real treasure. It was always the information we've been giving you and the sacred texts we've been giving you and the magical knowledge we've been giving you. That's the treasure we've been revealing to you all along."
Wow.
So the angels were just having along in order to get all this information that have now been passed through history. Um, they had no problem letting him think he was going to get literal gold when they were wanting to give him spiritual gold. And that happens a lot. You know, people who try to use magic to pursue money, they often don't understand enough about either money to at work. So it's kind of that failure. So most people think, oh, I'm going to use magic to get rich. Okay, so let's say you can use magic to get $1 million. Just, I mean, literally just falls out of the sky and right off your front lawn in a bag, and you're now rich. But $1 million isn't a lot of money.
Hmm.
$1 million will just be gone within a year. Just, just do what happens to lottery winners.
Hmm.
They usually don't have a very good story. Because in order to be rich, to work for that money, and I don't mean you have to go out and labor to earn the money. No, no, no. I mean you become that money's employee. You have to maintain that money. You have to save money. You have to invest it and keep it growing and maintain your wealth and expand your wealth in order to be and stay rich.
Hmm.
Magic spell is going to do that for you.
Hmm.
So yeah, you get money. It's not easy, but it can be done. But if you don't know what to do with that money, then it's gonna basically, like I said, it's just gonna flow right back out as easy as it flowed back in. They call it fairy gold. Most often, magic will get you the money that you need for a given situation, and then once that situation's done, it evaporates again. Uh,
Interesting.
but for those listening, this financial thing, let me tell you the real secret here. I know I'm rambling, but it's important to add this at the end. If you want to use money, I'm sorry, if you want to use magic for money, then you need to have a plan, a business. You need to have something that you're trying to achieve and some idea how you want to achieve it. Then you employ the magic to ensure success along every step of the way. And that's what you see these entrepreneurs do, whether they're using it or not, but you just see them to just one step after the other, success after success after success. And you can employ magic and you can gather your spiritual army, your ancestors, your guardian angels, your patrons, and get all of them behind you and in front of you, opening the way. And you can gain success, and you can gain financial success, and you can gain success at life through these methods. It's not going to be like waving a magic wand and performing one spell and now you're rich.
Oh, I see. Do you think we all should start communing with spirits then? Because you said, get the spirits on your side. Do you think we should all take up sigils and start trying to connect?
Well, that's kind of a touchy question because, I mean, the bottom line is not everyone is going to be cut out to do this kind of work. But on the other hand, our culture, our Western culture, really got disconnected from our spiritual sources.
Hmm.
We got disconnected from our ancestor spirits. We bury them off in graveyards now, and we only really think about them maybe when we go to the graveyard or something. We don't set up altars to them and feed them and care for them and keep a light burning for them and make sure there's water on the altar for them. And we don't really have this connection, and this extends beyond the ancestors to the genus loci and the spirits that rule in the place that you live. The archangels and the deities that rule over the nations that we live in and the land masses that we live on. And all, just based intelligences that are our human connection to the forces of nature. And we let all of that go. The church outlawed it and people were tortured and murdered in order to put a stop to it. And then the Age of Enlightenment came, and at that point, Western culture had enough of, the church and angels and God and that. And so they didn't want anything to do with occultism in any way. So occultism just occultism means occluded. It's hidden. It just kind of went underground,
Hmm.
and it stayed that way for a very long time. We've had our adepts. We've had people holding the lamp and passing it from generation to generation, but our general culture has lost that, and I think we need to get back to that. I mean, and I don't mean we need to go back to old superstitious way. And I don't mean that we need to go back to being on bended knee before angry gods of nature, pleading with them to give us good crops, weather, and such. But I just mean that connection to nature. You know, we we um, we connect to things by anthropomorphizing them. We don't connect to the sun as a big giant ball of nuclear gas exploding eternally in the sky, but we do connect to the Archangel Michael. We connect to this guardian angel who comes to us to stamp down on the darker forces and protect us from evil and cast out evil spirits. And we like Michael and we feel safe with Michael and we can conceive of what Michael means to us and have an emotional connection to the Archangel Michael. So yeah, we should all start making this again. We should start feeling the universe that way again.
It's interesting
But
because
as far
sorry,
as the real,
sorry,
no, is it?
I don't know, we're going a bit choppy.
It was. I don't want to.
I
Oh,
had,
I'm
sorry,
sorry. No, I was like,
yeah, go on, you go ahead.
yeah. Oh no, you go ahead. Heck, I forgot what I
Oh,
was going
right.
to say
Oh,
after that
sorry.
anyway.
We've
So
been cut off again. I had an interaction. I was having a bad time astrally. At night time I was getting attacked spiritually, seeing horrible visions. And a friend of mine gave me a sigil and said it was for Shem Yaza. Now, I wasn't really sure who Shem Yaza was. So I did, burn some incense, lit candles, and got well, somebody came through. I mean, something came through. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was Shabiaza himself. I mean, who knows? But this being gave me instructions of to bathe before I communed with him, to commune with him daily, to light incense. And I mean, what puts me off is, how do I know who that actually is?
Well, the problem there is it's kind of a cold contact, and I know nothing about the talisman you were given, how it was made. I don't know. I could not
Hmm.
confirm for you anyway who that entity was. You have to, you know, definitely bring in out, you know, consult somebody. Don't do the divination yourself. Somebody that you have to read the situation, whether or not it's a good idea to go forward, and then, you know, I guess proceed from there. The best way to do it though is to kind of start on the other side of that. You know, find who you want to connect with, or who you kind of feel a calling to connect with, and learn about. You know, you kind of going back to the moral example. You know, you can check out entire books just on the figure of Michael and who he is, and to know him, and you can have an altar to and burn the candles and the incense and all of that stuff, and you can begin to receive instructions from him, because that's how you learn magic, is directly from the spirits. And, and well, it, it's like jumping on a little kind of halfway down the track, but it needs preliminary work. So there's no real way to know who that is.
Sorry. Wow, the connection is so bad. Makes me want to cry. It's such a shame. I wish it was clearer. Does the sigils, the sigils? Well, yes, the sigils, the planetary sigils. Do they help us connect, or do we find the individual angels sigils, and what books can we find them in? No.
Well,
Oh, you're there. I can hear you slightly now. Oh, no, I
okay,
can't.
okay, yeah. If you really need to repeat it, don't. Oh no. Ah, do we need to reconnect?
No, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, remember there might be a delay from time to, so keep that in mind too.
Okay. Okay. So you were saying about
Okay,
the
so as far as the book, yeah, you're for specific angels, I tend to go to the Heptameron. It has the seals of the seven archangels, and I use those. I have those actually placed on my planetary altars to those specific archangel. The vein candles that may have those seals on. But there's some other sources as well. The Arbitel has the Olympian spirits. They're also seven planetary archangels, and they have their own seals. There are also talismans to be found for a lot of angels in the Grimoire of Armadale. And those are all slightly different systems, but we're all kind of part of the same Solomonic tradition.
right, and your books. What are your books? You, because you've got quite a few. I know they're quite expensive online, but what are they? And you've also got lessons. Can you tell the listener about lessons before the connection gets even worse?
Geez, yeah. And just let me know if I cut out. But the first book they would be interested in would be Magical Grimoires. It's less expensive than a lot of the others, and it's primer for solid. It'll it'll give you the philosophy behind the magic. It'll introduce you to tools. It's kind of comprehensive. It's not, it doesn't focus on any one specific.
Right.
Introduce you to the overall tradition.
Right.
The other books are far more advanced angel magic with the Anunnaki. Two of them dealing with the language, and one of them dealing with the rituals. But as pulling back though, the classes I offer go really, really well. the book, see the magical course. It's not a required text for the course, but the
Oh,
along with
that's a
things
required
to pick up.
that's a required text for the course. So to do your course, you have to read the Magical Grimoire first.
No, 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 not required at all. But some students say that they kind of enjoy reading the book along with the classes
Oh, right, okay.
because the classes extend on the book. In a lot of ways, the classes will pick up where some things in the book left off. But no, the book is not actually required for the course. The course will stand by itself. And I believe there's 8 classes in that one. And it's Solomon, it's Secrets of Solomon 101. And it will take you through all constructing the basic tools, introducing you to talismans, introducing you to the archangels. It takes you step by step through everything you need to know. Um, and all of that. I have some other classes too on Abramelin, a class on ancestors, class on tarot, and all of that can be found on our website, which is docsolomons.com.
Right. And the classes, are they super expensive? How much are the classes? Your classes?
No, we try to keep them. We try to keep a very standard price. It's the same thing you would pay like if you go to a bookstore and take a class there.
Right.
So the Solomonic classes are 25 a piece. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I think those are because there's 8 classes and it's $200 for the course. So I think it's $20 a class.
Hmm.
And I think at the Avalon classes are, I believe, 25 or 30 a class. So yeah, we keep the class prices very, very low.
That is good. And when you finish the course, would you say then that you then will have the ability to go off and communicate with the angels yourself? You'll have the knowledge then to do it yourself.
Well, basically, at the end of this 101 course, you will have enough information to either just take the course material because you'll get tons of handouts, and by the end of the course, you'll kind of have your own personal grimoire. Take the work because I'll teach you how to set up an offer and start working with the angels in a direct manner. Um, but there won't be any actual evocation or summoning of these angels or spirits in the one material. The woman who will allow you to go to any grimoire that you feel called to work with and better understand what you're reading in those grimoires, and then you can actually follow those grimoires. Or, like I said, if you want to just continue working with my system, there's also going to be a 102 course, hopefully by the end of this year. And that's the evocation, the summoning rituals, and more advanced work with like guardian angels and Goetia, which is working with underworld spirits, will also be included in that course.
Excellent. I want to do that. That's so brilliant. And I know, I mean, you're so well respected, and every book I read, like the Lon Milo Duquette one I just finished reading, he was talking about you. And, every book they're like, oh, Aaron Leitch's books, get them, he's great. And I have to say, I'm in your Facebook group, one of your Facebook groups, and you're always like asking people questions, and, you're always testing people. And so being in one of your Facebook groups, they kind of learn things as well. And, so you've got that going on as well. You push people, don't you, to learn. And the levels of intelligence there are really high. So, I mean, I think it's your Facebook group. The Solomonic one I'm in?
That's the one, yeah, Solomonic. That's I founded that and I gathered together pretty much everyone who is anyone in this particular area of study. So Joseph Peterson, uh,
Stephen
uh,
Skinner?
uh, Stephen Skinner, Dave Ryan, I mean, just and there's so many more. I mean, there's so many I'm leaving out. But yeah, I try to gather together everybody who publishes and translates and works on this kind of stuff. So yeah, you go in there and it's a great place to learn. And I do like to push people. I do like people to learn.
Hmm.
But I'll be honest with you, when you see me asking questions, is I don't know everything either. I mean, I fanboy way over guys like Joseph Peterson and So whenever I have questions, where I go is that solid group. So yeah, it's a great place. Public group. Now, you can't just search for it on Facebook, only because we ended up getting a bunch of spam, like false accounts trying to join the group at one point. So I set it to private. So you'll have to be friends with me or somebody that's in the group, and they can invite you in. I know you're already in, but I'm talking to the listeners. And
Oh,
the
right. Yeah.
classes all have private.
Sorry.
So if you join one of the classes, you'll also get into the private class group where
Right.
you'll be able to talk to just other students of the meet. So
Excellent, brilliant. So I'll put some links underneath. So I'll cut us short just because I'm getting one of those stress headaches because of the connection. I'm just waiting for it to go, and it's a shame that the connection's been sort of choppy tonight, isn't it? And not giving us a chance to relax and kick back. But I urge everyone to take the lessons that are coming up because I think you're the best person to learn off of. And as soon as I get some money together, I will be joining. And I'm sure once you get on one of your classes, then your knowledge will just gallop ahead. Because the information that you give out is really, I mean, even the Facebook group is like, it's very thick and nutritional. So you get a lot. Not none of it's waffle. You don't waffle. Everything's the meat of it, which is what I like about you. There's no waffle. That's what I like. So thank you for being you, and yeah, I'll put some links below where everybody can get hold of you. And thanks for coming on, Erin. And yeah, it's been great. I
I
hope
hope
we get a chance to talk.
last time.
Yeah, maybe face to face one time, and where we can, without the internet interfering. Anyway, you've gone again. Thank you,
Oh
Erin.
no.
Oh, there you
Well,
are again.
thank you. Sir.
God bless,
And
and see you soon.
I absolutely. You got to come visit us at Solomon Springs.
Oh, I'd love to. I would absolutely love to. Let me know when there's going to be something happening, and I'll be out there.
Awesome. Awesome. Be this fall. Keep our fingers crossed.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Let me know. Let me know, and I'll be there. Oh, thank you, Erin, for coming on. Have a good rest of the day or a good sleep or whatever's happening out there to you. We're nighttime. Is
Yeah,
it?
right.
Oh. Bye, Erin.
Have
Thank you very much for coming on and guesting. Take care. Thank you. Bye, everybody, and thank you very much for listening. And that was Erin Leitch, and I'll put some links below. And see you next week. Have a good week. Take care. God bless.